Welcome back from the break. It's Life and Style Books and Blogs time. My name is Catherine Mwangi. Delighted you could join us this Monday morning. It's a beautiful day. And I'm here with Kalekye Kasina, who is a blogger.
Yes.
And you blog on matters health.
Yes.
Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you.
And
for
you know you
having
look
me.
very hot.
Ah, thank you.
You were telling me you had to represent your people.
Yes.
In wearing yellow.
My kids. There's a daughter of mine who is very fashion conscious.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was no way you're going to let her down.
No, I can't.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
So I know you have a background in journalism.
Yes, I do.
And I want you to share that first, even before we get to how you're now a health blogger.
Okay. I've done journalism.
Yes.
I've gotten a degree in journalism and mass media studies.
Okay.
And I specialized in development communication.
Okay.
Yeah, communication in development.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a journalist, and I became one late in life. Previously, I had a stint in Kenya Airways. I've worked in the hotel industry, in the guest relations section. And then before I went into journalism, I worked in an NGO that dealt with human rights, human and labor rights.
Okay.
Then I went to university. Okay, I was also in university. And in university, there's normally like a 3-month period where you're told to go and look for organizations to work in.
Yes, internship.
Yes, internship,
Yes.
yeah. So that was my opening for going into journalism. I went to a media house where I interned for 3 months.
Okay.
And I did my best. Actually, that media house I went to, I was one of the oldest.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. The others were youngsters.
Yes.
They've been forced there to be there by circumstances. Yeah. I'm just getting here,
Yes.
getting my 3 months, getting my marks, and going
Yes.
back to class.
Yes.
But for me, I had to excel because I knew I want to be a journalist. Actually, I did so well that they had no choice but to call me back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was your intention, to be so good
Yeah.
that they call you back.
Okay, actually, everywhere I work, I aim to be the best I can.
best,
Yeah.
yes,
Even
yes.
if you give me a cleaning job, I'll go there and I make suggestions on how stuff are supposed to be done
Yes.
to the best. I just try and excel and leave it a better place. So when that media house, when I left after my 3 months, they called me back. Actually, they discussed and they said, we have to have her back.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you doing exactly during your internship period?
Okay, during my internship, I was just a normal reporter.
Okay.
Yeah, but also they used to give me stories that senior people who have been there for long,
The seasoned journalist.
exactly. Also, there are some stories which are complicated, like climate change. Now like in morning briefings, you know how it works in a media house. They look around and they're like, Kalekye can go for
Wow.
where they talk about climate.
And that's when you're an
climate.
intern.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
complicated, but I'd hack it.
Wow.
Then, okay, I was given a health segment. At 9 o'clock, within the 9 o'clock news, at that media house, there used to be a health segment. So they gave me that health segment to do. Yeah. So you can see where my leaning towards health
Yes,
journalism
began.
came. Yeah. So it was up to me to get whatever health story I could. So it's like I was not really supervised. I'd think about a story and how to go about doing it. I had very minimal supervision.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did it very well. Yeah.
Yes.
But at the time when I was at that media house, I was also in school. So like my work sometimes would clash with my schoolwork.
Yes, studies,
yeah?
yes.
Yeah, my studies.
Yes.
So after around 1 year, and it's like when I went in there also, I was like a sponge to
learn. Yes.
Yeah.
Glean as much as you can.
I did a stint I did reporting. I was good at it. I also learned how to edit with a final cut machine, you know, a complete story,
Yes.
though it was difficult. I also did a stint in anchoring, you know. Yeah, there's even a time there was auditions, and I managed to make it to one of the top 10.
Wow.
Yeah, so at least I said I'll learn. Yeah, but I had an intention also, because at the back of my mind, I was like, one day I'm going to do a health show, a TV health show. So let me learn as much as I can.
Yes.
Yeah, I try this, I succeed. I try that, I succeed. You know, and all that. So when my schoolwork was clashing with my work,
Yes.
The work at
Internship,
that,
yes.
yeah. The stories. Now I was no longer an intern. They had already absorbed me.
Oh, wow, into the system.
Yeah, they looked for me and they called me back. Yeah, I was then at the time I left, I was one of the newest journalists at that place. I even worked with some journalists from KTN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mwikali Mary. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
She's a host also on this show, yes.
Yes. Mashirima Kapombe.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think there's a an anchor who was in K24. I think he was an intern at around that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a lot of like health stories, you know. I had shot, but I had not produced them, yeah. So I wrote a letter. They didn't want me to go, but I explained to them, let me finish my course, then I'll come back. And I had a lot of like stories in the basket with shot, but I had not edited.
Yes.
So even after leaving, I used to go and do them, like on
Yes.
Saturdays. And when I get there, they're overwhelmed with their work. I would also help the other journalists, you know, to do their stories, yeah. Then before I left that place, I had applied for a fellowship at Internews. Internews is a USAID-funded organization that gives capacity building to journalists. Yeah, they don't like teach you to be a journalist. They just add on to what seasoned journalists,
Yes.
you know.
What
Yeah,
you already know.
yeah. So I was taken. I was one of the people who was called at that time, and we were the first class to be taught about data journalism, you know, breaking down numbers. You know, you can't go saying there are 2 million, 5,000, you know. You have to break down those numbers so that like even an old, you know, a grandmother in the sitting room watching
Yes.
can know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Every 5 people out of 10 have HIV, you know. At least that's simple. You break that down. Yeah, so we did that. I excelled in my class because we were a class around 10. TV, newspapers. So, okay, the story, once the Internews give you capacity building, you have to go and do a story with what they've taught you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and they fund you for
Yes.
it. So I chose to do a HIV story on MSMs and HIV. MSMs are men who have sex with men. Yeah, because I looked and I saw nobody has done such a story, but I didn't have the data. So one day, the head of Internews called me. It was around 2013, and he told me, hey, go quickly at Safari Park Hotel. There is a book they are launching, a most at-risk surveillance report. Most at-risk, it's most at-risk population surveillance report, yeah? And it had the statistics I needed because, you know, you have to have numbers, and it had the numbers. I did the story. I went to Kisumu. It's one of the places where the survey had been done. There was Mombasa, Nairobi, Kisumu. They told me I can go to Kisumu, the organization. So I went, I did a very nice story. I did it for quite almost over 6 months because I used to read books, Kenya Demographic Health Survey. You know, it's the Bible of journalists where you get everything about journalism, anything medical.
Health, yes.
Yeah. Then also the Kenya AIDS Indicator Surveillance Report. They're very big books, yeah? So that I could also get statistics from them and also the knowledge about what I was going to do there. Anyway, in a nutshell, the story won me an award, Red Ribbon Award for 2013. Red Ribbon Awards are normally given to the best HIV stories, and they are organized by National AIDS Control Council, NASCOP, and I think UNDP had also contributed towards the awards. And when I won that award, I'd also won previous awards with the same story.
Wow.
There's a Story Fest Awards. I don't know whether you've heard of them.
Yes.
Which also I was in competition with also journalists from this media house. Yeah, so I won in my category, Data Story. I won the best award for Story Fest. Then when we graduated for the data journalism class, I won the best award for that story for that year. Then for Red Ribbon Awards for 2013, I won for my category and also overall. Yeah.
Wow.
So okay, now there's a lady. She used to be in media. I don't know. She's called Nguku. Catherine.
Christine.
Yes. Yeah. So she told me, why don't you come and mentor my students, because you're doing a lot and you don't seem to be in any media house.
Yes.
You know, because like sometimes, you know, you can be taught, you go out there, you don't have a space like to fit in. You can also do your thing, yeah? So I told her, fine, but that time I was expectant.
Okay.
Yeah. So she told me she'd get in touch with me after I had given birth.
Yes.
Yeah, but okay, at least she encouraged me, you know. Yeah, at least I'm doing something. I'm not in any media house. I'm independent.
Yes.
Then after that, I approached the people. When I was talking to the people at NAC, the communication officers at that time, I floated the idea of a health show. Yeah, and they told me, you can talk. One of the prizes, besides monetary, was being flown to Mombasa for the World AIDS Day of that year. And I was supposed to be, one of the dignitaries there was supposed to be the first lady.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually I was told by the organizers, but the organization was not so good. I didn't get to meet her. But also I met other people, you know. I went to, there were different tents. So I visited every tent. I got an opportunity. The fishermen living with AIDS, the teachers living with AIDS, you know. The American embassy had a stand. I talked to a lady about funding for my health show. She told me, why don't you start something? You know, this funding takes long.
Yes.
You know, and then she told me, hey, I watch health. That show was called Health Matters.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are you saying there are no health shows? I told her there is no comprehensive TV health show. Yeah, and that Health Matters, the most it could carry was 4 minutes. So it's not enough to tell something comprehensive. So the idea of a blog was born at that time, yeah? I was like, okay, fine. Let me not wait to get a spot.
Yes.
Like in a TV channel. Let me start telling my health stories.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got in touch with a website designer.
Okay.
Well, the first website designer I got in touch with sort of did not live up to the expectations
that
I
you
wanted.
had.
Actually, they got my money, but they did not make the blog, yeah. So I got a second one who did a very good job, yeah. So I launched my website around March this year. It's not an old website.
Yes, it's not old, yeah.
Yeah, though there are some stories I'd been doing and giving the other one to put into the website, but he never. It was just the way. It was just stagnant.
Yes.
Yeah? So I launched it in March.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a TV journalist. Yeah. So you know the logistics of going to shoot, and you know I'm self-funding. It can be difficult. Yeah.
Yes.
I have to have a cameraman. I have to have transport. I have to go and look for locations and all that. Yeah. So it can be expensive. So what I decided, I'm going to be telling. I'll also write When I get funds to do like something on TV,
Yes.
I go, I shoot. So far I've done like 5 stories for TV because I'm a TV journalist.
Yes.
Yeah, I've shot on my blog.
Yes.
I've done cancer, 2 cancer stories. I've also done depression. I've done somebody with HIV. She's very prominent on social media. Yeah, it's like a one-woman warrior who is raising awareness on HIV. Her name is Feniawiti. I've done her story. I did Georgie Kua on caregivers in terms of cancer. I did a story on cervical cancer survivor. Her name is Caroline Nganga. She's also very prominent, and she was one of the top 40 under 40 this year. I've also done a story on depression on her.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I've also done some written stories. Yeah, when I don't have funds for shooting, I also do written stories.
Yes.
Yeah, on the same issues. Basically, it's health disparities, reproductive health,
Yes.
mental illness,
Yeah.
you know, technology when it comes to different health issues.
Yeah.
You know, just anything health under the
related.
sun. Nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback do you get from people who visit your blog?
Okay, it's the blog is relatively new, but I've got very nice feedback. I was contacted by a media house because they wanted to do my story.
Yes.
Yeah, and at that time I only had like 2 stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going through and they saw, oh, it's nice.
Yeah, very solid.
Yeah,
well
it's
researched.
It's unique because not many people are doing health. Yeah,
That's
so they are. So you see, with only 2
Yes.
TV stories, not the written stories.
Yes.
So they did a story in the papers.
Yes.
Yeah, about it, about my my blog. Yeah. So okay, it's picking. I cannot say I've reached there.
Yes.
It's picking. There's a positive response, and I've picked up quite a number of followers for the few,
since March to
yeah,
now, the
yeah,
few months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how often do you write when it comes to writing, not the TV story?
The written stories. I write very often, but I don't like releasing them all at once.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
It's because I want to keep the blog busy. You
Okay.
Because I can release all the stories at one time, then one time there's a dry spell.
Aha.
Yeah. So, okay, I've got a few stories in the basket I've not released. And then I also like looking at the health calendar. Maybe...
to be relevant.
Yeah, to
Yes.
try. Though it's not like strictly, yeah, so that it can be relevant with the different times. Yeah, but okay, it's picking. It's got quite some
the
followers.
following.
And then also, I get people asking me to do stories. Actually, I've got, as a health journalist, I've got a diary. Anything I feel that needs to be done, I'll write. I've got so much. It's just that I don't have the capacity to do it. If I had the capacity, even the people to send, you go do that, you go do that, you know, you go do that.
There's a lot to do.
There is a lot. Health is very wide.
Yes.
You know, and for me, I like doing research based, you know, in depth, you know, not just
Surface
sensational.
level.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Like, for example, when I was a journalist at that media house back in 2010, most of the health stories used to be given to me. So there's a time I attended a launch for strategic plan for cancer, what they intend to do. You see, you remember that was the coalition government in 5 years, yeah? And there are a list of things that they had said they'd want to be done by 5 years, yeah? And now I would like to go back and interrogate.
Wow.
Have they been done?
Yes.
You know, point 1, was it done? If it was not done,
Why?
why, and how is it affecting these people living with cancer? At least I know one of the things, NHIF, at least there's a little money that cancer patients are relieved. At
Okay.
least now they can get some semblance of cover. I go into that and I see how somebody's life has been affected positively by that. You go interrogating all those.
Wow. So you go really, you dig deep.
Yes. I go to the different counties. The first lady, she's been very gracious and she's given out a mobile hospital.
Yes, the mobile
vans,
clinics, yes.
Yeah, but we don't know what's happening. You know, we go to the different counties, ask the people there how has
this
it helped
been beneficial to you?
Yeah, also for her benefit, if something is not working,
she's aware of it.
Yeah, she's aware of it.
Yeah.
So I also want to do objective stories, not stories to maybe sugarcoat an issue.
Did you ever think that your life would take this direction? Like when you were first assigned these health stories by your editor back then, you are this intern, you're young, you're just having a passion, a commitment, you're seeing your dream come true of being a journalist, and then you're given health stories, and now look at you, a couple of years later, you've won all these awards. That passion now is so deep-seated.
Exactly.
Did you ever see it turn out this way for you?
Actually, I thank God for the person who was sending me the health segment and started steering me towards the health. Actually, they're the ones who shaped it in me. You know, because journalism is wide.
Very wide, yeah.
There's sports desk, there was politics.
Business, politics.
Yeah. So in fact, I really, you know, when I used to be sent for politics assignments, you know, other people are jumping at the opportunity, but for me, I was so, I developed a passion for
health.
But it's the editors at that time. So I thank God for them. Because at least they opened up my eyes to something
you didn't know what's buried inside you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us details of your blog and how people can get in there and just get to also learn what's in there.
Okay.
Oh, you're a reporter, so you can look at the camera.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm an independent health journalist, and at the moment I do blogging. I am present in all the social media sites. I've got LinkedIn by the name Kalekye Health Moments. I've got a Twitter handle, Kalekye Health Moments. Facebook, I've got a page, you can like it in the process, Kalekye Health Moments. And my website is kalekyehealth.com. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so and any health issue, you can just write to me because I can highlight you on my blog.
How do they find you? How do they write to you?
Okay.
Have an email address, or is there a contact on your website?
I've got 2 email addresses if you want to get in touch with me. There's takinaz@yahoo.com, STAKINAZ@yahoo.com, and then there's Trakinaz, STRAKINAZ@gmail.com. Yeah, those are my names, Stella Kasina. My English names.
It's Stella.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that. I was about to ask, what do those Stakinas mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's your names.
Yeah, those are my names.
Okay.
Yes.
And to anyone who wants to start a blog, what would you advise them?
Okay, you have to be very resilient. If you have a passion for something, look for, there are free blogs on WordPress. Yeah, you can go and you try the free blogs. I tried it, but I preferred getting an expert, a professional, to also design it the way I intended it to be. And thank God I got a very good person. Yeah. Then also you do your stories, you create your niche, you know, if it's health, if it's food, tell well-researched, in-depth stories, and then be consistent, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kalekye, thank you so much.
Okay. It's over.
You're hilarious. Thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate that.
Okay.
And keep up with your blog. Keep doing what you're doing. I haven't met a health blogger before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even when I went through your blog, I was like, wow, okay, these things are really deep. So there's a lot to do in that front.
Yes.
And I'm glad you're championing it.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
well done on that.
Okay.
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 So we take a commercial break now. When we come back, it will be time for Beyond the Sport with Brian Suma.